Did you ever dream about being a Fed owner like Unstable Can, Sama, Italian Dream, Reap Kingston, ATG, and all those successful Fed owners out there? Of course you did. As humans, we love success and we love achieving our goals. However, it is time to speak about one of the biggest lies that pro wrestling has ever told you. According to this lie, even your Fed could become successful, so keep on hosting, your day will come. Maybe that was the case in the early 2010s, maybe it was the case in the early 2020s, but in 2024, it clearly comes out as a big fat lie and a way to eliminate your competition. You see, it's time to speak about why your Fed, despite all of your efforts you put in, will never ever succeed. Hello, my name is Alex Sampson. I am an experienced Fed owner for the past 5 years. I am the owner of Roblox BD Sport, one of the premier medias of wrestling, and I own Feds like BWE, Wild Wrestling, and NWF. I've been a general manager, a Fed owner, a normal manager for wrestlers, commentator, developer, all kinds of pro wrestler you can find for the past 5 years now. And I have been on the top of the industry and on the bottom of the industry. I was working with big feds, with big names, and those smaller feds which wanted to get on top. In this video, in a few reasons, 8 to be precise, I will explain to you why, even though you put a lot of effort in, you waste your time day after day, why your Fed will not succeed despite all of your efforts. I hope you like this new style of videos. Make sure to subscribe to Buddy's Talk because this is a new media which will be a bit more loose. I will be less retarded than before and will speak fully from the heart. Let's get right to it. Reason number 1. There's just too many feds. You see, in 2019, there have been around 400 feds in pro wrestling, which people were joining in and exploring their talent at. However, in 2024, on the day of recording of this video, there is around 900 feds. Yes, 900 feds. You have heard that right. Now, Alex, you're a stupid retard. How there is 900 clean feds when it's clearly pointed out that there's not even 300 at most? Let me explain. These are not limited to cleans. These also include animated feds, roleplay feds, and takedown feds. By the way, if you want a separate video about all these types of feds with a top 10, their history, and their pro cons, make sure to smash that like button like The Rock smashed Cody Rhodes. Look at this Now, all these feds from different communities are all connected to each other, obviously, because they all are about wrestling, and everyone wants to follow the footsteps of likes of ATG, Lights, Sama, Unstable Can, Italian Dream, Ace, you know, all these successful people which held all those successful feds. Everyone wants to create a new OPRW, WWE, APRW, BPW, UKW, shout out to Times King, of the wrestling community. That means that there's a lot of competition to the point where people are in 5 up to 6 feds or even more. And even though your fed is standing out, these guys get burned out altogether from wrestling, or they just don't got time to invest into your fed, even if they would really want to. The amount of feds is killing wrestling slowly from within. Obviously, wrestling will not die, however, there will be a point where no other fed, besides those successful ones done by successful people with major names, will ever stay open for a longer period than 6 months, because the people won't have time nor passion anymore to look onto your fed and, most importantly, pro wrestling as a whole. Reason number 2, there's no chance at being different at all. wrestling is obviously a copycat community. It's Roblox, you're allowed to be a copycat, and you will earn top dollars from it. For instance, take those Tower Battle games. Its owners, its creators, got a lot of money from them. But there have become copycats, like that Spanish version, which have been more successful than the original and made even more money. Take Counterblocks as a second example. It was the CSGO of Roblox, and then Arsenal dropped, and nothing was the same since. Slowly, Counterblocks fell off, and Arsenal grew. Now, the same could happen to Arsenal because of the new Sheriffs vs. Criminals game, which is catching momentum every single month. There were successful feds at first, like RCW and VHW. Then came feds like APRW and UKW. Once again, shout out to Tanskin and APRW, shout out to Unstable Can. And then came copycats of APRW trying to catch some of the success, like DRXW and BPW. And then Aggression Wrestling, Federation Online, EWE, and then obvious ripoffs like BWE, WXR, and XW, and WHW. We need to actually include that in. As far as you can see, pro wrestling is a copycat community, but also take innovative mechanics and match stipulations, for example. Let's put in the Onslaught match, which was originated by APRW. Other feds got it really quick. Hell, Onslaught matches are done in 2024 as well, but in rare instances due to the fact that it's not cool anymore. In short, you will not be able to be different in this community. You will not be able to be original for long, because others will quickly copy it and make it better than you, just because it's different. Reason number 3. Toxicity and scandals. Toxicity and scandals are nothing new to the world, especially to our great world of Roblox wrestling. And I mean, sure, there are minor ones and major ones and those in between. But let me warn you, if one of your wrestlers is involved with some shady shit and you keep them there, say goodbye to your fan. You're done. You're toast. You're goodbye. There's no saving for you. This community will go on your back and will basically cancel you just because you didn't do as they said, you didn't remove them, even if there wasn't any proof. Even if there wasn't any proof, they still want you to remove such person because they believe it's the right thing to do. Reason number 4. Soft community and cancel culture. Now, cancel culture is not only limited to our great world of Roblox wrestling. However, these days, you can get canceled over saying anything. You want to say that this white gimmick is better than the black gimmick. Boom, cancel. You want to call someone a retard due to their act? Boom, cancel. You want to call out someone for their shitty behavior? Boom, cancel. You want to say to someone that, hey, you suck because I bring more chicks than you. Boom, cancel. You can't get canceled in this community for anything. And especially if you're a pet owner, that will stick to you because this soft community doesn't have a life. Now, why do I say this is a soft community? Because it's people, well, not the majority, but the bigger portion of it. They cry for everything. For instance, women want to be equal with men, even if they are not good at it. They cry and leave if you don't budge. People want title shots but don't deserve them because they suck. They cry and leave if you don't budge. People want to be paid for showing up but you don't want to pay them. They cry and leave if you don't budge. Hell, even a simple redo call. If you make one mistake and don't call even one, they immediately cry big time and leave. This community cannot take anything on themselves. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people who are good-minded people who really love what they're doing, that love this community, and they know how to take a joke. They know how to take something and not take it personally. But the majority, like, not even the majority, let's say half of the community, or 55% of this community, cannot take anything on themselves. And I would be a hypocrite if I would say that I wasn't one of these people. I was one of these people. But these days, I realized I don't need to be a fucking nerd like that. I can take it and move forward. This is only Roblox. This isn't your life. This is Roblox. And that's my advice to you as well. Don't be a nerd. Just take it and move on with your normal day. Don't give a fuck about it. Because who are fucking they to tell you, a normal person, a person that's independent, a free man, who are they to tell you anything like this? Reason number 5. Short attention span and questionable likings. You see, I want to ask you a question. What is good about current day pro wrestling? Storylines and matches. That's what people are going in to see pro wrestling for. That's what people want. You got the WWE, for example, which captivates audiences with their storylines on the main roster. But for banger matches, they've got their NXT brand, the developmental brand. However, adults are more hooked into storylines than teens and kids, which want oh my god moments, big surprises, edgy content, etc. Besides, it's always better for them to just grab their phone, turn on TikTok, turn on YouTube Shorts, turn on Instagram, and waste a few hours, and your problems will be fixed. Or turn on X, or a wrestling community server on Discord, and your problems will be fixed. You don't need to come to Pro Wrestling. You have all of these wonderful people at different things. You have all these wonderful videos you can watch. Obviously, that's a brain rot, but that's a completely different issue. That's a topic for a completely different video, which I plan to make, by the way. This is a problem that will haunt your federation like none other. Well, maybe besides Big Fate stealing your talent, but I'm gonna be talking about it. People have less patience, and due to reason 1, they just want to get the fuck out of there, out of your fed, and they won't even engage in the story that you want to tell. You are becoming just a name on the list that they check in, that they went there, so the fed owner doesn't cry, in their minds, cry to them that they didn't show up. But let's be real, a lot of those close to 900 feds could have just merged with each other. And not only quality would improve, but people would stop seeing feds as names on the list that they check in. So the owners cry. People would actually come in because they will be interested. Yeah, there are people out there that keep switching feds in order to try out something new, but that's a minority. And maybe something great will happen and they will like it, and they will get engaged. But like I have said, most of the Euro wrestlers today treat feds like those names on the list. I don't know why I keep using the same example, but this is the best. You can't tell me otherwise. So let's say, out of those total 900 feds in the whole community, there are around 220 in cleans, 400 in animation, 200 on roleplay, and 80 on takedown. Let's say cleans for this example. If we would have 2 feds merge with one another, all feds do a merger, then we would lower the amount of cleans feds to 110. And if we would have 3 feds merging, that figure would lower to 75 feds. 75. Wouldn't that be lovely? Now, apply that same thing to different communities. In the description below, I will give you the mathematical calculations for this, because this is not what this video is all about. But I will just say, total of feds in Euro Wrestling, taking the 2 and 3 fed mergers example, would be 327. And in second scenario, when we in takedown feature 4 feds, it would be 220. Isn't 327 or 220 feds a lot less than 900 feds overall. That would make wrestlers more flexible and more engaged in the stories that you want to put out. Not just throwaway matches so people can get the fuck out of there to the next fed, just get it over with. That's the majority. That's how the majority of the wrestling community, the world life wrestling community, those pro wrestlers treat your fed. They just want to get the fuck out of there so they can go to another fed and just basically waste their time because they have nothing else to do in life. That's how they treat us. At least some of them. At least some of them. The majority, I would say. The majority. Reason 6. There's always that one bastard. What is this reason about? Well, there will always be that so-called one bastard which will roast your fed whatever happens, which will try to cook you, destroy you, your reputation, your roster, whatever. Will destroy you. Which won't like anything, he doesn't like anything, and who will convince others who like your fed. People that like your fed because that's those bastards' ideal group to reach out to. The people that like your fed. They will convince the people that like your fed the most that there's nothing special about you and that you suck. It's driving people away from you. A lot of those feds have those types of people. I'm gonna use an example which a few months ago was very, very popular. Clean Sheets Pro Wrestling. It was a media that probably died. Thank goodness if it did, honestly. Which was roasting everybody and making fun out of everything. But they were also using cancel culture on edgy content like sexual storylines and even romantic storylines. Not even featuring anything sexual, just romantic storylines overall. Of any kind. They also love to attack people who did not agree with them, calling them slurs of any kind. They're gonna throw slurs, any slurs there are under the sun, just every one of them. So if you're not ready as a pet owner to handle trolls like this, do not bother to open up a fed because they will kill your passion and your fed very, very quick. Reason 7. People just want to get paid. This is a pretty recent trend. People began to see how big fed owners of those big games like Boss Raymundo with RBC and now with RWA have been gaining money and Robux very quickly under success. So people want to get paid so they can come to your show. It isn't the majority that is doing that yet, but I guarantee you, in next few years, the majority of our wrestlers will want you to pay them real life money to come to your shows. I guarantee you also, if you would sign a lot of these people with an actual wage, like real life money, they would scramble to come to your fed. Even if their house would be on fire, it would be like, come on Johnny, the house is on fire, we gotta get out. No mom, I need to stay, I get 100 bucks out of coming to this fed. That's how it would be. That's how it would be. Because that will make them seem like they have earned something, that they did a job, even in Robux, which by the way, rarely gives you any money. It is common with developers. I guarantee you, every talented developer or staff member or graphic designer or render maker or belt maker, name it, you got it, will want money or Robux, a lot of Robux, for working for you. So if you don't got a good budget to spend, if you don't got a lot of Robux, I would actually prefer, people would prefer real life money. So if you don't got a good budget with real life dollars, your fed will never reach out to those talented people. Your fed will never reach the mainstream. I guarantee it. I know it from experience. And the final reason, big feds like to steal talent. How keep this point short and sweet. Big feds just attract talent more than your small indie feds will ever do. A lot of pro wrestlers simply want to go up straight to the big wigs, hoping that those messiahs, these big feds are messiahs in their minds, that they will make a big name for them, instead of actually making that name themselves and spending time dedicating for this community which needs it. Big feds will steal your talents and you will never have a good roster of talent within a longer period than 6 months, because they will either leave because a good fed given them a better offer, or they were already signed to those big feds which they care about, fully ignoring your federation. And at the end of this video, I would like to give you some valuable advice, if I may, that might help you. If you want to be a successful fed owner, don't be like me. I'm not even tripping. If you copy my mistakes, like all those controversial things that I've said in the past, like all the controversial stuff that I did in the past, you're not gonna be successful. You'll fall on your ass. But for real now, my advice is simply this. Love what you do. If it tries to kill you, kill it first. Remember, this is only Roblox. This is only Roblox. This is not real life. A lot of these people don't know you as a person. They don't know you. So if they say something shit about you, but they don't know you, don't give a flying fuck about it. Because if they don't know you, alright? They don't know you. And they have no right to talk about you, the person, if they don't know you. But what does that advice mean? It means if you don't love wrestling, if you don't have a good mindset about it, if you treat this like a job, if you don't have the passion nor the knowledge about wrestling, don't even try to make a fed, because it will fail. How do I know? From experience. In April of this year, I have brought back my old fed called Wild Wrestling, which used to have a pretty good run in the past. However, as the members grew, the pressure grew too, to the point where I stopped loving what I do. I was doing it simply for greed, to like own something, or do something because my personal life was a mess. I had isolated myself from everybody. I didn't care, didn't give a fuck about my family, didn't give a fuck about my father. I didn't even give a fuck about my father at some point. I didn't talk to him for fucking months. That's how I was invested into wrestling. Guess what? The fed died not even 2 months, although I was working very hard, very hard, every day. As for what much in sport, when I was left running all by myself, I couldn't handle it anymore. And that's why I moved here. I want this channel to be more personal. I want to show my real side, give some valuable advice, so that maybe one of you one day could become a successful pro wrestler. No matter if it's in-ring, or commentary, fed owner, developer, manager for some wrestler, belt maker, whatever. You name it, you got it. This channel is for you. And I am going to dedicate myself so you don't repeat the mistakes that I have made in the past, which have made me fuck up, and a lot of different people fuck up, so that you can be truly successful.